Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. It's a show about weirdos, doggone it. My name is John Boy. It is John Boy time. I'm your host, John Francis Fahey. Joining me as ever, Dr. Coctopus.
Hello, penis.
The amazing Spider Them.
That's me. Or is it?
Yeah. You could be the superior Spider Them.
I'm definitely the superior. It sounds a little white powery.
It does.
Spider supremacy.
Yeah.
Whoa,
but without
whoa.
any gender involved.
No, that would be intolerant.
That would be oppressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott Wang.
Scott Wang.
Yeah, that's from Joe.
That's great. Now, is he Chinese?
He could be. He could be. Scott Wang's a good man. Stay clean. Stay focused. Aaron Joseph Pita.
That's me.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
To your right, my left. What do we got there? Think.
Stink.
The Toronto Maple Queef.
Oh.
That was
Okay.
off top.
That was very good. That
Right
was
off
very,
top.
very good for off
Nice.
top.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
Wow.
you. That's handsome Matt Brousseau. Nuevo look. Mismo gran sabor.
Good to see you, Matt.
Yeah, you too.
Just had a wonderful birthday.
yes, we did.
We all celebrated like crazy.
It's madhouse.
We
In
just
our
went.
own way.
We all, in our own way.
One of my friends showed up for about 20 minutes and got laid. It was incredible.
Well, who was that?
Oh, yeah, this guy Fernando.
20 minutes and got laid and left?
Well, I guess presumably after he left.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was really cool.
Getting laid is tight.
Yeah, he showed up and he's like, "Where are you?" And by the time I found him, he was with two chicks. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're straight.
Not anymore, pal.
Nice.
They turned
They
him
cancel each other out.
Turn him
Two
into a
girls.
pretzel.
Gay.
Yeah. Then we got to say Happy Pride Month and we got to say Happy Father's Day because
Yeah.
everyone's dad is
That
gay.
is right. 1-800-GAY-DAD. Give him a call. He's your father.
Listen, guys, at this point, I'm desperate for one of you to put your phone. Listen, I'm going to tell you what to do. Just call up a gay hotline from your parents' landline. Whenever you go over there, your dad's in there watching the Cubbies or whatever.
Yeah. Drinking a beer.
And then just, the Bears, maybe.
Yeah. The Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And then you just call a gay phone sex line. You don't have to pay for anything. There's just a recording there. They're going to try to get you into it. But they're going to be talking about buttering up your balls or whatever, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. And all you got to do is just hand the fucking phone to your dad and say it's for you.
Happy Father's Day.
And Happy Father's Day. Boom. Bickety bam.
Thanks for defying the odds
Yeah.
of being a gay man who sired a child.
Yeah.
Thanks for really taking one for the team.
I really need you guys to do this for me. Okay?
And me.
And Aaron. And Matt.
Sure.
For all of us.
Yeah.
For all mankind.
John's dad's dead.
Yes. I can't do this stuff to him. I'd be doing it every day.
Yes. Yeah. So, happy Father's Day. Happy Pride Month.
Yes. And so we still got shirts for sale, baby. Beautiful new Profiles and Eccentricity shirts.
5 years.
Go over to the
7 years,
Etsy
I think.
store, grab yourself one. They look beautiful. And I think that's all I got. Check us out on Patreon. Extra episode per week.
That's true.
YouTube.
$5 a
Go on
month.
the YouTube. Smash the like and subscribe button. Obliterate the bell.
Yeah.
Pommel it. Really,
Pommel or pommel?
Really give it all you got.
Really just throw haymakers at that bell, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm running out of throwing haymakers.
Yeah. Uppercut the bell.
Liv Moss.
Jab the subscribe button.
Left hook. Headbutt. Bite the fucking ear off the thing.
Fist the bell.
Oh.
How do you think it got that crack in it?
Now, Matt, what do you have for us, man? I don't know what's going to happen here. Anything could happen.
I mean, John, this is what I'm bringing to you today is some local New York flavor.
Hey.
It'll touch into the 70s and 80s. And
Oh, so it's gonna taste like piss and sewage and stuff.
yeah, daddy.
Nice.
So let me take you back a little bit, guys.
Take it back.
we're going to go down to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, Allen Street. It's a little lane tucked under large rising apartments, tiny little apartments, which somehow, like a genie's pouch, are full of tons and tons of people and things. And Allen Street is known as the street of perpetual shadow because of the tracks that run over it and blocks the sun. It's full of opium dens and the highest concentration of brothels in the city. It was the home of the Syrian Jewish diaspora of New York City.
Was this in the 1970s?
No, so this would be, early 1900s.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. Opium dens.
The New York Times called it unhit for human habitation.
Unfit.
Yeah. Which is a way of saying not white.
It was a hit.
Yeah.
It was also unhip.
It was hip daddy-o.
Yeah.
Now, if not for the Syrian Jews themselves, they never would have stood a chance. They stuck together, they lived and worked on top of each other and for each other. The hard work of one generation might give great opportunity to the next, but there's no telling what that next generation will do with it. Maybe nothing, maybe just enough. Or maybe it's May 19th, 1981, you've just watched the Mets on TV and they lost their 9th straight game.
Uh-oh.
You're pretty morose right now. Mm-hmm. You're about to turn off the TV when all of a sudden this shows up.
Wait a second here.
Media?
Wait a second here.
Hold on. Television?
Uh-oh.
This is it! It's Crazy Eddie's greatest clearance sale ever! Crazy Eddie's soul-lashing prices on specially marked items in his enormous inventory. Stereo equipment, video equipment, color TVs, car stereos, CDs, telephone equipment, disco equipment, and professional products. Plus an unbelievable selection of floor samples and demonstrators, all with full manufacturer's warranties and most priced at or below cost. It's Crazy Eddie's greatest clearance sale ever, going on right now with prices that are insane.
Oh, my
Chopping
God.
up the price tags. I'm sure it's not the only thing he's chopping up.
Oh, yeah.
He's going crazy.
He's got a bunch of stereos behind him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Televisions.
Yeah.
Hi-fi systems.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking today about Crazy Eddie.
Crazy Eddie.
Oh, God.
At its peak, it had 99% name recognition in New York City.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows that guy.
43 stores, and they had expanded to New England and New Jersey.
Wow.
God.
But they couldn't tell you who the fucking mayor is.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Reagan only had like 70%.
That's fucking insane.
Crazy Eddie was the mayor.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. What were we talking about this in an episode? We were talking about these guys, the guys screaming about how.
Yeah, L.A. had Crazy Gideon.
LA had Crazy Gideon. So the original guy,
He used to put Bibles in every hotel room.
doing this was Madman Muntz.
Madman Muntz, was he also a pro wrestler?
No. So in like the 40s, he was making millions of dollars selling cars, and he would have ads that said, "I buy him high and sell him low. Mrs. Muntz hates me. She's crazy."
She's the crazy one.
Yeah.
You're sticking with me.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't care. I just want to sell them. I love selling them. And he took all these promotional pictures of him making weird faces. and he would do things like, he'd be like, oh, I lost a bet. I have to pull a car down the street with a harness. And it's like, you didn't lose a bet.
I had to lose a bet and let all the guys on my softball team fuck my wife. She's crazy.
I have to be this man's gimp for a straight week.
Have to. Get to.
But Muntz, maybe profile worthy. He dated movie stars. A term was invented for his. He was really good at simplifying electronics. So he created his own TV by simplifying the models that were out. So that way,
Gutting
it was
them.
really easy to manufacture them because he just simplified the boards and made it easier to create. Huh. And so it was called muntzing, is the phrase. But he did that with TVs. He made a jet car. He made all kinds of stuff. Went bankrupt.
Jet car?
Went bankrupt repeatedly.
He almost got Munson.
So he really was fucking, like, he was bad at math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
he made a lot of money and then
That's
lost
cool.
a lot.
Yeah.
He was original. Everybody else is a poser.
Yeah. Now, see, later when asked about it, Eddie would say he'd never heard of the guy. So it's hard to,
Well, when you're talking that much, there's no time for listening.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go back now to New York City, and Eddie's father's a man named Sam M.
Now are we in the 70s?
No, we're in like the 50s here
50s, okay. Golden age. Golden.
Sam M., a Syrian Jew, son of a Syrian immigrant, and he did window trimming. He designed window displays, and he learned how these retail businesses worked, and he would buy into some of them. And throughout the 50s and 60s, he would own parts of businesses from Brooklyn to New Jersey, And they sold, these businesses sold everything, toasters to, lawn chairs or all kinds of shit, knickknacks and crap to tourists.
Yeah.
And he said each display he earned $10,000 to $20,000. And who knows if that's really true.
When you say each display, you mean like each storefront?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And he was a known embezzler.
Wow.
And embellisher.
What about bedazzler?
I mean, that's the displays for you, right?
They come in threes.
And so he would take some of his money, give it to his wife to run the house, and then he would hide the rest of it in the house in like radiators and
Well, she's crazy.
The Sopranos.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he would. This is a skimming off the top. For the family it's a term, an Arabic slang term for under the table, and it's a nekdi, Nehkdi. And so all of these Syrian Jews in these businesses they're skimming the profits, they're hiding it away.
All right, Matt. Okay.
They're giving it to their family members.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the most American pastime there is.
Well, they said it was a leftover habit from Ottoman Syria where they would get taxed by the government, so they would hide their earnings so they wouldn't
Squirrel
get taxed.
some away, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was, at this point, it's considered tradition
Yeah.
for the family. Now, in 1947, Sam M. has his first kid, a boy. By tradition, he's supposed to name the child after his grandfather. The grandfather was named Murad, and the anglicized version would be Mark. And yet Sam M. names his first kid Eddie, claiming that his dead brother Ezra came to him in a dream. But there was no dream. In reality, Sam had a first son with another woman a few years earlier.
Who he named
named Mark.
Well, at least he has those values.
Yeah. She was a Greek Catholic woman, so also not a good look.
Wow.
I mean, she probably looked great.
Yeah, maybe.
Fucking Greek broads. Greek and Catholic, not Orthodox? Crazy.
Yeah, she's from Indiana. You never know what's going on.
All right.
Extra forbidden.
Yeah. So Eddie is his first, quote, non-bastard son, or, at age 15, Eddie drops out of school because he wants to work. He's been making decent money at what they call clip joints. These are little garbage tourist shops, 42nd Street, Times Square. And they would be owned by these Syrian immigrant families, generations and generations.
Selling
and,
shit that's falling off the back of a truck.
Yeah. Tourists, oh, this is great. You're going to love this. And it's just, little pieces of crap.
Yeah.
But he's making a lot of money over that. And so that's mid-'60s. In '69, Sam M. takes over the lease of his shop in Brooklyn. He gives it to his son, Eddie, to run, makes Eddie a partner. Eddie doesn't own it. He gets a third of it. His cousin, Ronnie, gets a third of it. They call it ERS Electronics. Eddie, Ronnie, Sam. Eddie's 21, newly married to a woman named Debbie, blonde woman. She learns French for him. For some reason, he really liked that.
But he didn't speak French.
No.
Hey, learn French for me.
Yeah.
She could be talking gibberish to him.
Yeah.
Probably was.
And so Eddie, in order to get merchandise for electronics, he becomes an authorized dealer. And so you can't get a Sony unless Sony says you can get a Sony.
Right.
You can't sell Sony unless Sony says you can sell Sony. And when you're an authorized dealer, you stand in line with all the other stores. So it's not like you get first crack at the merch. You're behind these other stores. You don't get a better deal than anybody. So there's really no reason for anybody to go to your store when they could go to any store.
Right.
And so what Eddie does is he needs to find a way to discount his merch to sell it. Now Ronnie sells his share to Eddie. He skips out. He said there's no way the store's going to work. So now Eddie has 2/3. And he's got a little bit of money, and he changes the name of the store to Sight and Sounds, and then he starts going overseas for merch, going around the authorized dealers. And then he goes to this place called Corner Distributors. And Corner Distributors is, it's a building with no windows, like one door, maybe like a loading dock.
Yeah.
And they sell slightly above wholesale, but you can get all the merch you ever want.
Right.
So suddenly,
Import, export
Yeah.
is what it is in LA.
and for 40 years, Corner Distributors also ran New York City's largest numbers racket, bringing in $15 million a year.
Holy shit.
So like every bar, every store, if anybody was doing numbers, Corner Distributors was,
God, we should get to numbers.
Wow. Yeah, we should start doing that.
yeah, you guys love numbers.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, some okay.
And so,
69.
so Eddie he's got the extra merch, right? And so now he can sell it at cheaper prices.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's got to sell it to people. And so there's a few things he does. And most of my info for this is from the book Retail Gangster by Gary Weiss.
Great name.
And this is what Weiss writes about Eddie's method. He writes, Crazy Eddie's method of salesmanship, variations in the trick and techniques he was taught in the clip joints, changed little over the years. The salesman would work as a team. Whenever a customer would walk in the entrance, the salesman would alert his colleague in a mix of Arabic slag and Pig Latin. Keep an eye on that guy. Shoof the eye guy. The customer about...
Eep K.
Yeah.
I-A. On A. At A. I gay.
Yeah.
I gay?
I gay?
That? Pig Latin.
Yeah, and Arabic slang. And so the thing, if the guy went in and it didn't seem like they were going to buy a product, they would say nad the eye guy, which means nail the guy at the door. And be things like just put down $2 deposit, or they would go like a guy would come in and go like, hey, I'm looking for like this Sony something such. It's like $250, and they go, oh yeah, sure. Let's take it. I think we got that. And then as they're walking over there, they'll go, that thing's fucking, it's garbage. You don't
You
really
want
that.
this thing
You want
over
this
there.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
This puppy right here?
And so they would be like anything to keep the guy in the store and keep him walking around, right? And then they would do a thing like, the guy would go, I like this floor model. I want a new one. So they'd say, no problem. And then they would take the floor model,
Box it up.
they'd bring it back, and they would use they would keep the staples, the tape from the original boxes, box up the floor model as if it was a new one.
Oh, wow.
Sell it to that guy. And so they're juicing display models, and what they also start doing is juicing returns. So they say they say that we filled out this return, we're sending it back to the distributor, but they don't.
Let's say it got lost in the mail.
Yeah. And so they claim the money, keep the extra inventory.
Now this sounds highly illegal.
Yeah. And
Cool.
Yeah.
pretty much the process of switching the models, the floor model and the other one they called lunching, because they would keep a staple gun and sealing tape in a lunch bag, and they'd go, lunch it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like a Ghostbusters lunchbox or something. That'd be really cool.
And so it would be anything to just get any sale from anybody. And they would do these like techniques, like someone would walk in, they're looking at something, and as they wouldn't have talked to anybody yet, and they'd go by the guy and they'd like take like a little feather and like rub it on the back of their leg, and the guy would look around and they go, mice. And then they would start a conversation with the guy. So anything to get interacting with the customers, anything to just get their attention.
I mean, our shit's so good, even the mice want.
Wouldn't everybody leave once you say mice?
Well, in New York, it's better than rats.
John, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, New York 1970s here. And
Tickle is. Ooh.
What did you say? Like one of the other customers saw? I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with that guy? Some guys would go in there just to get tickled back then.
yeah.
You guys have a back room or
Playpen?
pig pen?
And it's 1970 where Eddie gains his moniker Crazy Eddie. According to there's a couple different things. One of them is that his wife's a friend of hers was like, oh yeah, they bought it from that crazy guy, her husband, that crazy guy Eddie. Because he like Eddie, like as he gets older, he starts getting crazier. He sets up a gym in his office.
Oh, Bernard McFadden style.
Yeah. And he gets those gravity boots where he's hanging upside down. And so he starts holding his meetings while he's working out or using the gravity
Or
boots.
upside down.
Dude,
Yeah.
this guy is like 40 years ahead of his time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah. But he's like, short guy.
Well, that's why he's hanging upside down.
Yeah, stretch him out. Yeah.
Plus, it makes your dick look bigger.
Yeah, when it's fucking flopped across your belly button.
Your ball bag's just hiding it. Because you're fucking upside down. Oh my god, that's so stupid.
This guy's crazy.
It's nuts on the fucking
Look
ceiling.
at this guy's nuts.
And so he's cheating the manufacturers and he's cheating the customers. And in his ads, he's writing like he starts writing his ads that the prices are crazy. Come down here, the prices are crazy.
I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong.
The only thing I'm not cheating on is my wife. Wink.
And so the last thing, so he's making money from these two things, and then he has this one final bit of extra money. And it's the simplest gag in the world. All it is that, and this is from Retail Gangster. Typically, wholesalers charge retailers 60% of the list price. So law-abiding retailers would buy a unit for $60, sell it for the mandated list price of $100, collecting the sales tax. Eddie would sell that same unit for far less than $100, perhaps even a lot less than $60. That's because he would collect the sales tax but not turn it in the government.
He would collect the sales tax on the MSRP, not on the final sales price.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't get in trouble for underreporting your profits. So what you do is you take that extra money, fucking tuck it into a wall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
give it to your family, put it in
Peel
the
off
bank.
a few bills for the mice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to keep them mouths fed, you know?
Yeah. Wake up the gimp.
Yeah. Well, he's sleeping.
We got. I guess you're gonna have to wake him up.
You want to get paid.
Yeah. Come on. It's payday, gimp.
That means yes, boss.
Listen, it's a simple scam. All you do is get a gay hotline on the line, right? Call your dad over. Tell him the phone's for him. Look at it. He's gonna be looking at you, going like, "This guy's saying crazy stuff." When he hangs up, you ask him what that was all about.
Yeah. Explain yourself.
And profit.
End of
with the
list.
joy of others.
Emotionally profit.
Yeah, emotionally
profit.
So he's cheating the manufacturers, he's cheating the customer, and now he's cheating the government. In that order.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so he's able to sell at what are actually crazy prices. He's and he's underselling everybody, but he's also saying they start realizing when they're running their print ads that they don't list prices. Eventually they stop listing prices. They say, tell us what the other guys' prices are,
Yeah.
and we'll beat that.
Good idea.
And in 73, he changes his store name to Crazy Eddie. And 74, he opens up his second store in Long Island. And a third in 75 in Greenwich Village. And he's still keeping his family in it. His uncle is now running the books. And they have 2 sets of books.
Wow, dude.
So the whole family's, they all know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
He's bringing in tons of money for his family. His dad's still only a third owner, but now Eddie's bringing in so much money that he's basically the head of the family now.
Yeah.
And it becomes, there's resentment starting to
Right.
build between him and his dad.
Who's crazy now?
Yeah.
Dad, the phone's for you.
Guess what? I own that phone number. Created it for you.
Man, that's wild. Because his dad started the whole thing.
Yeah, his dad's the one that, got him into the business. And the thing is, you take care of your family. And Eddie is, he's bringing family on.
But he's usurping his father.
Yeah.
A very Oedipal type of thing.
Yeah, he starts fucking his mom. It's a whole thing. It's just...
Well, yeah. And, your kid's out there calling himself crazy. You can't love that. And, the dad was presumably hip to the scams. And
Well,
it started with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tradition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's still giving his dad money, but, is he giving his dad everything?
No.
No.
Fuck him.
Almost guaranteed that he's now giving him everything.
It is really funny though, because like, how do you keep your prices so low? And it's like, I have other crazy ways of stealing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, he is crazy. I was like, I steal from you a little bit.
Yeah. But his mother-in-law is on the payroll.
Nice.
He brings in his cousin Sam, who's a huge source for retail gangster and this story. And Sam would eventually get his degree in accounting, become the accountant for the.
Well, you better. I mean, if you're doing 2 sets of books,
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
gotta
need
know
a
what
guy.
you're doing.
Yeah.
The other set of books has just like random porn in it.
Yeah, doodles.
It's got a lot of like skull drawings.
Yeah.
Looks like an 8th grader's
Yeah,
like.
the Stussy symbol, a lot of R. Crumb style
Yeah.
porno.
Well, it's funny you say R. Crumb because that will come up.
Weird.
Yeah. And Eddie.
No, this is my crumb. You get that.
And Eddie's like, he has a lucky sweater he's always wearing. And by now it's years, it's tattered, it's holes in it. But he's got money coming in, so now all of a sudden he has like a German Shepherd with him at all times.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's the sign of success.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can't get a Mercedes.
Dog. He named the dog Mercedes.
just like
This is my German Mercedes.
Jewish dudes having anything German is like, what's going on there?
Yeah. I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
Get out the breeder's musk.
I'm the she-wolf.
And, so anybody who's coming in his office, there's a dog, Eddie's working out or he's upside down, his shirt's in tatters, and they're like, this business is humming.
Why is his shirt in
Because it's his lucky sweater. He always wears it.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Fucking doing crunches on the upside down machine.
But just also the idea that, like, he's stealing from each part of this process, and he's like, it's the lucky sweater. It's got to be the lucky sweater.
That's so great. That's so great.
Eddie, how come your prices are so crazy? It's a sweater.
Sweater.
Turns out he was stealing threads from the sweater.
Yeah. God.
And so all of a sudden, but money is coming in, and Eddie is partying a lot, and he's a notoriously bad drunk.
Really?
Yeah, short guy, balding, bulking up, doesn't handle his alcohol well. In '76, he gets stabbed outside of a club.
Holy shit.
Like 5-6 inch scar up and down his abdomen.
So cool.
And then
That's like somebody trying to gut you.
yeah. And after that, he starts getting paranoid a lot. He starts hanging out with the not family people, just like a weird group of guys.
Good guys.
Yeah, yeah. Giving them money. He gets a share in this manufacturing, this stereo manufacturing or speaker manufacturing plant in Vermont. And the guy who's running it with is like, man, all our money's going a lot of weird places. I think Eddie's just giving it out to people. And it's a whole nother story of that. And that place mysteriously burns down years later. But they're able to, because of Eddie's connections, they're able to keep the stabbing out of the papers. You can be a crazy Eddie, but you can't be getting stabbed and be in the papers and all that.
Yeah.
The papers.
Yeah.
Papers.
But what is getting into the papers are these crazy Eddie ads.
And prices.
And so he hires this guy, Larry Weiss, no relation to the author, who had a history in advertising. And he does simple things. Like one of the things he does is he takes the prices out of the ads. Mm-hmm. Another thing he does is like when you would send your ads to the radio station, each radio station would read it on their own thing. And Larry says, no, none of that. One message.
Yeah.
We record the ads. You play them. You don't read them. We don't want your voice doing this.
That's
and
like
this.
our Carvel ice cream fella.
Yeah.
Cookie post. Oh, fuck.
And Eddie hires Larry. One of the things to do is collect co-op money, co-op ad money. So what happens is this is actually a legal way of making money. If the manufacturer has a co-op ad program, the manufacturer would give you credit on any any merchandise sold from like a coupon
Code.
in the ad.
Yeah. Use code profiles to buy your fucking Sibian or whatever.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so, so you can make money from, you basically get free advertising if you sell enough of this merch. And in 75, he makes $1 million just from his co-op credits. So he's doing a lot of ads. He's doing a lot of sales. But as Weiss points out in the book, Eddie's getting compensation for these ads, even though he's underselling the merch he was getting from these companies.
Yeah.
So he's selling it under what the company should be getting, but he's making more back from the ads.
Yep.
And his original ad shtick is pretty lackadaisical. And so, yeah, Larry puts a stop to that. One message, one sound, and Larry starts... Eddie would do this thing. Larry would bring in an ad, or, they would write an ad. Eddie would go, change that. No, change that. And all of his changes would make it worse. And so Larry started doing this thing where he would just write bad ads. And then Eddie would go, no, change that too. And Larry would be like, maybe this. And he's like, yeah. I'm the
That's funny. That's funny.
Figure out a way to get him to say what you want. And then he thinks that
Great
he did
idea.
it.
Yeah.
He always had to have the last word.
Glad
Everything.
I thought of it.
And Larry hires this guy named Jeff Coleman. Coleman had done a crazy Eddie ad read, and Eddie heard it once, and Eddie called up the station and said, read it like that every time. And Larry also tells a story of Eddie that Eddie didn't want to do radio ads at first, and CBS guy had to convince him, and Eddie told the guy, I'll do these ads if you go onto the Parkway, Kings Highway, and you pee on a bus. And the CBS guy comes back in 10 minutes later. He goes, yeah, I peed on a bus, all right.
That's all you had to just say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was it. That's what it took.
Now, do you have to be on the bus and take a piss?
Yeah, no.
Or are you outside chasing it with your
Yeah. You got to take
Whoa!
Hold it.
But that was Eddie.
Also, like, peeing on a bus in New York doesn't sound like in the 70s. Like, I feel like everybody was doing that.
Yeah. It could have just been.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is a completely normal thing.
he had to get in line to do it.
Yeah. Guys, come on. I'm next. I got it.
I gotta lock down this whole ad thing.
Come on.
Please. Fucking piss. I'll piss.
It's easy
on
money.
I'll piss on the fucking thing.
But, like, that's an Eddie. Eddie needed to have the last word. He needed to have control of whatever the deal was, no matter what. And so that's what it took to get him $5 an ad at the time. Fucking awesome deal.
I'll fucking piss on a bus.
And so Larry hires Coleman to do these commercials. And the one I saw you, that was Coleman. The one you saw, that wasn't Eddie.
Oh.
That was actually Coleman. But so, I'll give you a little sense, another sense of what these were like. Which one is it? So it'll be like something like, here's a blowout blitz.
Blowout blitz! Crazy Eddie's not playing with a full deck because he's practically giving away.
You guys got to see it, sorry.
Yes, we do.
You got to see it to believe it.
So this is Coleman.
Yeah. And this is from 86. So this is like...
dude, it looks like Doc Brown's fucking stereo room with all the fucking giant
He's
speakers.
got a fucking microwave back there?
It's a Crazy Eddie blowout blitz! Crazy Eddie's not playing with a full deck because he's practically giving away TVs, VCRs, microwave ovens, stereo rack systems, video camcorders, and anything and everything in home entertainment, and lots of home appliances too. Remember, we are not undersold, we will not be undersold, we cannot be undersold, and we mean it. It's a Crazy Eddie blowout blitz, and Crazy Eddie's going nuts with his lowest sale prices
dropped
ever.
nuts
See
on
Crazy
us.
Eddie now, his blowout blitz sale prices are insane.
That's dope. That's cool.
So that's what it would evolve into.
Props.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like, this is at the time when like home electronics are
Oh, yeah.
like, it's not just a TV or a radio anymore. There's fucking boom boxes, home stereo, hi-fi speakers.
Yeah.
Electronics are booming.
Yeah. And they're not cheap.
No,
Except at Crazy
except
Eddie's.
Crazy Eddie, yeah.
Now that's what that would be like for me. That is peak Crazy Eddie, but they wouldn't get there right away. That's 86. We're still in 76. The first ad they official ad they do, Coleman's not actually in it, but Larry Weiss has this idea, and they have this like Crazy Eddie jingle they've been working on.
Uh-oh.
And the first one they ever do is it's a doo-wop ad
Yikes.
for Crazy Eddies. Where are you?
Let us see it.
It's radio.
Oh.
When you think you're ready, come down to Crazy Eddie, the man who's got most everything. His stereo sound, his audio selection, quality with your perfection. He's the man with all the lowest always prices around. So come on down and put it to the test. See whose prices really are the best. Who fix you up with the style to fit your face and guarantee a smile upon your face. Oh, when you think you're ready, down to Crazy Eddie, the man who's got most everything, stereo sound, and so the story's told across the whole wide world. Crazy Eddie will not ever be undersold.
As God is our witness.
That is awesome.
That's a dope.
That's a great commercial.
And that one gets nominated for a Clio Award.
Miss Cleo?
Hi, I'm Cleo.
Your award is here.
I love that Jew-wop sound.
Play it again.
Italians, Jews, everybody. I love the Jew-wop. Wow, wow, wow.
It's good.
That's
yeah.
good.
That's good.
So you said that's 76.
That's
too.
76. So
that's also probably like
Playing off Grease.
absolutely.
And a lot of
American Graffiti.
gang movies are starting then, like The Wanderers and stuff, probably.
And so one thing that this guy Larry, like, he he didn't go to advertising school.
You don't come up with fucking brilliance like that by
Right.
learning in a fucking school.
So there was a thing that emerged after World War II of companies. They would they're like red and yellow. Make your products red and yellow because it psychologically makes people want them.
Right.
They're in make your ads red and yellow because people are interested in them.
It pops.
Yeah, and there's after World War II there was all kinds of psychological advertising and subliminal stuff.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it was part of it was from I forget the guy's name, but he was I think the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he's actually very worthy of a profile, and he created public relations.
Oh.
And he was the guy that like made bacon the breakfast food.
Right.
And he did a bunch of other things too, because he basically ran a lot of war propaganda for the States. And then after the war was over, he needed a job, so he created public relations.
Wow.
And he was like the guy who sorry to interrupt, but
No, go.
did like car ads with women in them and talking about the new Lincoln, it's 8 inches longer. 8 inches wheelbase, like all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name, but definitely put a pin in that one because that was like the whole Mad Men time and
Right.
and TVs and radio, like advertising fucking was paramount.
And so they also started doing these. They start advertising on TV. The show Mary Hartman was a comedy, and they start advertising. You know, I think it was a comedy about consumerism, I believe, and they start advertising. You know, during then, which is a fun little like, oh, here's, but they also start doing a thing that is absolutely brilliant. They start advertising on TV when no one's watching, and they buy up time. They'll sponsor a movie, and then it'll be like 1 a.m,
Right.
and they'll sponsor a movie. This Casablanca, brought to you by Crazy Eddie's, and then they would make a commercial, for instance, like this.
Oh my God.
Play it again, Sam. When you think you're ready, come down to Crazy Eddie, the man who's got most everything in stereo sound. So come on down and put him to the test. See whose prices really are the best. He'll fix you up with a sound to fit your place and guarantee a smile upon your face. And so the story's told across the whole wide world. Crazy Eddie will not ever be undersold. Crazy Eddie, his prices are insane.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And the commercials they just get in people's fucking heads.
Yeah.
And Village Voice has a whole write-up on them. Weiss is writing, he writes about like the advertising, the subliminal stuff. And Eddie, like months, there's no subliminal stuff. He's going, come here.
Yeah.
And
You
there's
said Eddie Muntz.
Madman Months.
Got it.
So like Muntz is going, come on down, you got to get here. Mm-hmm. And Eddie's doing that too. And it's refreshing to people. There's no like, wow, trickery. It's come down here.
Yeah.
You get here.
Right.
And
It's honest that way, is the idea?
There's no tiptoeing.
Buy this shit.
Yeah. And people hated these commercials, and they loved to hate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It only made people clamor into the store out of hatred.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have comment cards in their store, and people would write, "I fucking hate your commercials. I never want to go to your store." And they're
I
like,
got tickled by a mouse.
they're like, "Yeah, but where did you fill out the card?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, fucking Crazy Eddie, let's see what this stupid shit's about." And they go in there, and then the sales
Walk out with a fucking RCA.
They think it's some bullshit, and the salespeople go like, "I know how to trick these people into buying anything."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of different people are doing sales for these guys. One of them would become a pretty medium level guy in the Gotti family, I believe. His name was Vinny TV. I'll probably talk about him on a Patreon.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think he went to Willy Wonka's shop.
I think he did.
And so, okay, so let's take a little break. But first, I want to take you out on the commercial they made for when they bought time for the movie Saturday Night Fever, when they sponsored that.
Oh my God, they got the dance floor.
So he's tripping people on the dance floor?
Is this before Airplane?
What year is it?
Yeah. Oh, the disco ball fell and hit everybody.
Crazy Eddie Fever.
Dude, I wish more commercials were like this.
Yeah.
But if you heard that every day,
But it's only when Saturday Night Fever is on the fucking Tuesday Night Movie of the Week.
Sure.
Oh yeah, whatever movie's playing, you're going like, what's his commercial gonna be
dude,
this time?
fucking, let's-
Right, yeah, no, sure.
Fucking First Blood's on. Let's see who killing the competition. We draw First Blood.
It's fucking it's Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, it's cruising.
Attica. So it's Crazy Eddie out on the streets.
Taxi driver.
Yeah, he's got his trans girlfriend over here. He's like,
I'm cutting these prices so I can pay for a sex change. Snip.
I'm cutting prices.
I'm cutting more than prices.
I'll take a break and come back.
Yes.
I'll be right back, folks. And we're back.
And we're crazy.
We're slashing prices. We got micro machines.
Dude, I was just thinking of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
machines guy.
Yeah. Imagine the micro machines guy watching this guy and him being like, I can do better.
No, that was his origin story.
Yeah.
Selling.
He was fucking doing blow like the guy in fucking Mandy. Watching this like, fucking micro machine.
You got to talk fast when you're selling really small cars. 'Cause the price point isn't the same as big cars.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? These are small cars we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you got to sell a lot of them to really make your fucking nut.
Unless you're skimming off the top.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me that the tagline is the prices are insane because originally they had come to Crazy Eddie's, he's insane. And Eddie goes, no, I'm not insane.
The prices are.
And they go, okay, the prices. Go, okay.
It's not like I'm tickling you when you walk in the place.
Yeah.
He wrote Crazy Eddie on the building.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, but I'm not insane.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Neurodivergent Eddies. Doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah.
But so the commercials are fucking working. They even get, at one point, they get a phone call from this guy, and they're like, "Man, it sounds familiar." And the guy goes, "I want to do your ads. I want to be the ad guy. I want to do your ads. I love your ads." And
My name is Orson Welles.
No, it was James Brown.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah, he called them and said, "I want to do your ads."
Yeah, and who's your dealer?
And yeah, he's probably up late at night seeing these commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah. Living in America. That's a man's world. That one interview, God, is legendary.
Yeah.
God, I love him.
He's fucking gacked to the max, Jack.
So now we're gonna get. So you saw the commercials that made him famous, but the real quote unquote genius of Eddie's. We'll get back to the business side of things. In 1977, they had 2 more stores. I think they have like 5 now. In 77, there's a New York City blackout. Eddie's stores don't get robbed. One of the few stores that don't get robbed. He has a bunch of ex-cops or cops who are all off duty.
Real connected guys, good guys.
And he calls them up. He has them so that some stores have guys with guns on the roof. Some stores have guys on top of a van in front of the store with guns.
He got the son of Sam to hang out.
Yeah.
His dog. That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Sam's Auto Parts.
Come down to the son of Sam's. My microwave is telling me to kill you.
Yeah, but all you would hear is woof, woof, woof.
Yeah.
He would know what it meant.
Supper's ready.
And after the blackout, insurance companies, they're not denying any claims. So Eddie has his guys
Times have changed.
take his merchandise and just they shoot it, they piss on it, they just destroy anything that hasn't been sold and they can't return, they destroy. And then they claim it as stolen, and the insurance companies are going, yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Piss on.
Yeah.
Dude, what the
What
fuck?
is it, a bus?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, you know he's crazy then.
Yeah.
And you know he sold a piss RCA
Yeah.
at one of his locations.
God damn. So, yeah, so some insurance adjuster has to come around and they're just saying, like, these are the ones they pissed on.
Yeah.
Smell it.
Well, the thing
You
is,
really get in there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
one of the guys that pissed on stuff was an insurance guy.
Oh, it was an inside job.
Sometimes, yeah. Wow. They pay that guy a little bit extra.
Number one.
This guy, he's a pisser. Dude, that's bananas.
I don't think they're wet enough. Oh yeah, they piss on them.
Why would anybody just go around pissing on stuff during a blackout? You would steal electronics.
No, well, they would be like the next day. No, it was on a basement. They're destroying shits for the claims.
But the pissing is just an extra.
Yeah, like they didn't have to shoot it, but a guy had a gun with him, and so they started shooting the merchandise.
Yeah. It's Crazy Eddie's.
Yeah.
These guys are fucking... The guys beneath them are even crazier, it turns out.
And so during the blackout, the only person that steals from Crazy Eddie's is Crazy Eddie.
Well, he's not a sane man.
No.
This is good shit.
Yeah. He's completely unwell.
Yeah. But these tactics are not something that was foreign to everybody working there. If any of their warehouses or stores had a pipe burst, all of the stuff at other stores that they couldn't sell or return, they would bring over to the place where the pipe burst.
Oh, it's all wet.
Yeah.
Look at that fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking regular Mar-a-Lago in here.
Yeah. They were like, don't fix the pipe yet.
Yeah.
We got to bring shit over there.
Yeah, we gotta bring all these mogwais in. Start a gremlin infestation. Gremlins.
They would spray the shit with hoses. They would fill sinks with dirty water. They like put their shoes in the sink to make sure the water is really dirty, and then put merch in it and be like, oh, look, it got flooded.
Wow.
And then Eddie would pay the claims adjusters under the table to make sure it all went through. And eventually
Then he pissed on the table.
Yeah. And eventually the insurers would drop Eddie because there's too many claims. but another insurer would pick him up, and none of the insurers ever talked to each other.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, okay, fine. Hey, like
New
they're
business.
like Eddie, we just can't. There's too many claims, we can't. And he'd go, that's fine.
I'll
Another
go fucking
place.
State Farm.
Yeah.
They're good
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so by 79, now they got 3 more stores. One grand opening, 20,000 people show up to the grand opening.
Holy fucking shit.
Some salesmen are making $1,000 a week in salary, commissions, bonuses, grift. It's about $3,500 today a week. Wow. And they're making so much money, Eddie and the people at the top, that they're skimming too much money to not get caught. So they start taking it overseas. They start doing what they call the Panama pump. $3-4 million a year.
Oh,
I think I bought one of those online.
yeah.
Yeah, did it work?
Came with free Sibian.
Created kind of a canal. So I don't know.
Whoops.
So about $1 for every $5 they report, they're skimming. And what they do is they would get on planes, they would tape money to their legs, they would fly to Israel, and they had a bunch of banks there, deposit the money in a bank, have that bank account then send the money to Panama, and then Panama would send them that money to the U.S. And so then they call that the Panama pump, because all of a sudden with this many points, the source is lost.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they just give up.
Yeah, yeah.
The feds give up.
Yeah.
Too many dots to connect.
I don't know. It went over there.
And so in 79, cousin Sammy, he's a certified public accountant now. And he comes with, he comes up with an idea. Eddie and his dad, Sam, had for years been talking about IPO. They wanted an IPO. They wanted because that would be a complete game changer for their money. And so Sammy says, guys, okay, how about this? We're going to do an IPO. Instead of skimming money from the
IP
profits,
on equipment.
Yeah.
instead of skimming money from the profits, we start slowly adding the skimmed money to the profits. And so you go
War shit.
Yeah, you all of a sudden you go from 13% reported profits to 170%. And so as they're doing this, they're getting ready for that IPO, and it's I'll get to that in a second.
All right. Can you briefly explain IPOs to people?
It's initial public offering. So when your business goes public, there is a price on that stock, that share of the stock. And so the initial public offering is that first price. And then if a lot of people buy
the
it,
bell, you want to get in.
yeah.
Ground floor.
Yeah, because it's going to be low then, but if you show a lot of profits on your way to there, maybe it'll start a little bit higher.
Building some buzz.
Yeah, and then and then if it sells, then the price keeps going higher.
Right.
And so now you can sell your shares, and you start at 8, it goes to 50. You can sell shares that you just tripled your money.
Right. And so that's why you want to get more profit to make it more attractive.
Yes.
To the buyer.
Yes. And yeah, so because of this juicing program Sammy had thought of, from 80 to 83, their actual profits were only 13%, but the reported profits,
still good.
Which is still good. That's
Yeah.
if you do that, you're fine.
Yeah.
But the reported profits were 171%.
That seems to be too flashy.
Yeah, too good to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
people also just follow money and they don't fucking. He's crazy after all.
yeah,
Yeah.
he is crazy.
That's true.
And September 84, they do their IPO. Their stock ticker symbol is CRZY.
Amazing.
And the logo for their ticker, the logo for their product is a crazy guy stolen from an R. Crumb comic.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was also Sammy's idea.
Wow.
And it starts at $8 a share. It sells out so much that they get an allowance to sell even more shares. And
Crazy Eddie is a publicly traded company.
yeah, under the handle CRZY. But remember, this is a family scam.
Yeah.
And so you need to be a family and have an appearance of good family. But the cracks are starting to show in this close family
Yeah,
affairs.
Sam the dad is over there, miserable.
Yeah.
Always on the phone with a 100 gay dude. I told you to stop calling here, but I love it.
Now, Eddie has been cheating on his wife, his blonde wife, Debbie, who learned French for him, with his secretary named Debbie, who's blonde, who learned French for him.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
You think he just confused them?
No. Everybody called them Debbie 1 and Debbie 2.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's some Arrested Development shit.
Yeah.
He's fucking sleeping like a bat upside down, fucking balls, nards.
Debbie,
fucking-
is that you?
And New Year's Eve, the end of 1983, Eddie's dad this is what Sammy's story is this. The motivation is Sammy, this is what Sammy says. Eddie's dad is jealous of Eddie's status in the family, and he knows about the affair, so he tells his daughter and his daughter-in-law, Eddie's wife, that Eddie is spending New Year's Eve with Debbie too, and tells him where he is and to go confront him. So they show up and they confront him. Eddie slaps his sister across the face.
Holy shit!
And then he causes such a commotion that the door guy, he calls the cops and Eddie flees in his limo. The next day, Eddie goes to his father's house to confront him. They get in a fight. Eddie's mom faints and his dad has a heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit!
Debbie won then.
Eddie, you leave your father alone! Come at me, you bastard!
My
Oh
left,
shit!
My left arm.
Cocksucker! Fucking Deb 2.
He just heard the phone ring. It can't be.
And then yeah, it's Eddie doing it. He's like, we got everything here. We're slobbering cocks. He goes, we're stuffing asses.
Jesus fucking Christ! It feels like your heart's gonna explode.
My blowjobs are insane.
Over at Crazy Eddie's, we're doing dome work, not homework. We're sick. We're waking up the gimp.
We're slobbing on knobs.
We're giving him coke, so he's up all night. There's all kinds of nasty shit going on down here, Dad. You old bastard.
The only thing faster than your heart rate is how fast you're gonna nut.
1-800-GAY guys. Dad, it's for you.
Yeah.
So, Debbie 1 asks for a divorce. Eddie shows up at her house with the paperwork. She signs it. She doesn't read it over. It turns out it's actually a separation agreement. And it says she gets $35,000 a year until her youngest turns 21, or she lives with a man for more than 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah. Eddie doesn't give her a copy of it.
Crazy bastard.
Fucking knows French, can't read English. Stupid.
Why are you blaming her? She got shafted.
She did, and I feel bad for her. But she's smart enough to learn French.
Yeah.
On a, like
You're right.
by request.
Yeah.
But also he may be, he is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a guy this good at the graft is not somebody you want to just lightly breeze over documents from.
Yeah.
She might have been
yeah.
scared though, right? Like,
Yes. Yeah, and she would say that, so, her and Eddie would, they had, I think they had, at this point, they had 3 kids. And her and Eddie, sometimes they would sleep together, but
cool.
over the next, nearly decade or so, Eddie would show up and he would ask her to come back and we'll live together, and then she would say no, and he would start crying. He would cry for days.
Stay with me for 2 days, the contract.
Yeah.
He would knock her door in and storm around threatening to stiff her for money or take the kids. He said he wanted her back on a part-time basis. She said no. He spent the next 3 days crying in her bed.
Ah, you pussy.
And then the next year he beat her, gave her a black eye, and tore her the
Asshole.
whole house apart.
God.
Not
damn.
nice. Bad dude.
Yeah.
3 days crying in a bed? Like,
Yeah.
what? The thing is like, come on, dude. Like,
I'm
also,
manic depressive bipolar Eddie. Please. Buy
Yeah.
my shit. I fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
God, wow.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, also, you got to give it up for her just being like, nope.
Yeah, no,
Day
seriously.
2.
Not just go hang on your fucking upside down machine, you fucking kook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What about Debbie too? Is she still in the picture?
she's still in the picture. Yeah,
Oh
no, she's
God,
she's hanging around.
This guy's an animal. But the thing is like, two Debbies are better than one, and especially when they both speak French.
Yeah.
And are blonde.
It's not a hard transition.
No.
Smart like that.
In by 1985, the share price, which had started at $8, was now $21.
Fuck.
Eddie, CEO, he starts selling his stock. In fact, most of the family's selling their stock too.
Yeah.
It's not a good look for the CEO to be selling stock.
Right.
Not really.
He does it anyway. His dad sells 150,000 shares. He makes over $3 million from it. Eddie sells, at this point, he sells 700,000. He makes $14.5 million, about $40 million today. A few months later, he sells another 300,000 that he was holding for his kids.
Fuck them.
He pockets it. $8 million he takes from his kids.
Whoa.
Well, they never really had it in the first place.
And there's stores are still making legit profit.
Yeah.
They start doing these things where they do Christmas sales in August.
Yeah. Good.
And
Good.
Coleman has Crazy Eddie on TVs in a Santa suit. But the thing is, there were never any sales. There was never sales.
Yeah.
No. There was the illusion of sales.
Yeah.
Which is all that matters.
Yes. Fuck, man, that's good. I mean, he's crazy, right? So he can say it's Christmas in August.
Yeah.
Brr.
Ah.
Yeah. But as I was reading this story, this theme kept coming up and again and again and again. And the thing is that all the financial magazines, all of the write-ups, all of the brilliant finance people are eating this up.
Yep.
Forbes is lauding him. Every fucking finance magazine.
Oh, like, because it's like the height of Gordon Gekko shit.
Yeah.
now. And they're going, this guy's a scumbag. I mean, a major fucking piece of shit.
But they're also they're not picking up on
No.
or at least ignoring
Yeah.
that there is some Enron style accounting going on.
Yeah, and at one point they have like a prospectus that gets out, and one of the finance mags reads it and doesn't see
All the doodles.
like they weren't saying we're stealing in it, but the profit that they were making, that they were putting in, wasn't adding up, and the finance magazines even got this and didn't put it together.
Yeah.
And they're saying this is a no-loss situation. This guy's a genius.
I think they just all aspire to be gangsters.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like the hidden language and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but also they're going, he's bamboozling customers without ever going, are we being bamboozled? They go, we're all too.
Not us.
We're all too. We got by being in our position. There's no way anybody could trick us.
Look at me. I got this fancy tie on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Guy like me? Not going to fucking bamboozle me.
Come on.
Come on.
And so as they keep wanting the IPO to go higher, and profits got to go up too. So as they start adding the skimmed money in, they start. Eddie tells his guys to boost warehouse inventory. And so what they do is they leave it in the warehouse. They file paperwork claiming that it's been shipped back to the manufacturer. They keep it in the warehouse and claim it's actual inventory. So you do that for $2 million of returns, and you keep it. Now you have $2 million of extra inventory.
Wow.
But the problem is that the next year, you need to do that again to make up for that $2 million.
Right.
Yeah.
And so next
And
year,
the manufacturer has to catch on at some point.
at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
But the higher the profits, the better the share price, the more money for Eddie. And he's just selling his stock like crazy, and it's supposed to be a red flag. The
Yeah.
CEO is selling stock of this company that's supposed to be doing gangbusters. And it's not. None of the finance people are saying this is a terrible idea. One of the Worsham Company, an analyst, he writes, we judge the results no less than outstanding, given the company's known conservative accounting practices.
Yeah.
Every analyst, Drexel Burnham Lambert, Mabin Nugent, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Salomon Brothers, all of these guys are going, this is real deal shit. All of these genius analysts.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the CEO is selling stock, and at one point he sells his stock, and the Wall Street Journal writes like, what do they write? They like straight from the tax planner's manual.
Okay, so here's the thing that I'm thinking at this point, right? Because this is now escalated to quite a significant level of fraud. Mm-hmm. But also, like, I think about pre-internet New York, and sensationalism is going to put more eyeballs on you, mm-hmm. and it's it's a small city in a lot of ways. Like from rich, poor, they're all on the same cabs mm-hmm. and subways, and mm-hmm. so it's like one of those things where I'm going like, even before it gets to the fraud with the price of the company and stuff like that, don't people talk like, especially like the manufacturers, like where things aren't adding up and they're going like, I'm still making enough profit from Crazy Eddie that I can let some stuff slide, but like he's got to have a rep for grifting.
Maybe?
Yeah, I would imagine.
But there's so many.
There's a lot of lead in the gasoline.
Yeah.
And also I think it's just, maybe there's, I don't know, people were good bullshitters back then.
And people bought bullshit back then.
Yeah.
And so there's the thing that
not like today.
The auditors would, I think it's just, at every level here, there's just a coziness. The auditors would, if they found a discrepancy, say the warehouse was off by $2 million, the auditors would just adjust their numbers down $2 million to match that. They wouldn't be like, oh no, that seems like a problem. They'd be like, okay, well, we'll just fix that. We'll just drop,
because they don't want to fill out more paperwork.
And the
auditors, like from the IRS,
from these different agencies or wherever. I think probably the IRS or something. The auditors would also do this thing where they would keep their reports on the business in a lockbox, and they would put the key in a box of paper clips, like no one was going to find it. And so Eddie's guys would just open up the lockbox and be like, okay, so what did they look at? What didn't they look at? What do we need to switch around in the warehouse?
Wow.
So that way it looks like we have what we say we have. It's just from top down.
High stakes, man.
Yeah.
High stakes,
low
fucking
prices.
around.
Yeah. These auditors are insane. And so
I think also there's a reasonable amount of looking the other way when something is, especially when people are saying like, this thing's solid, like Enron.
Yeah.
And people are going like, these guys just can't stop profiting,
right.
man. And like, it just makes everybody go like, like they treat it like a Oprah phenomenon. Mm-hmm. Like it's just let them get out of the way and let them make money, and we'll all get money too.
Yeah,
right.
And
yeah.
this is also like the height of New York corruption.
And it pointed out in the book that like the Reagan presidency made business was very favorable to shady business practices.
Yeah, the regulations.
Gutting a lot of agencies, yeah.
And mental illness. Let the crazy people out.
That's right, yeah.
Start
on
their
the
own
streets,
businesses.
yeah. Which, almost sounds like it could be positive. Even the crazy people can start businesses here.
Yeah.
Government is the problem.
All the ones that Fidel Castro sent.
Yeah.
Here you go. Let them start electronic stores in Miami.
But, creative business, and so there's always ways to find ways to, fake the money a little bit more. So Eddie, at one point, he starts selling stuff wholesale to other distributors. Because his business is so big, he can buy so
wholesale.
much. Yeah. And some of the distributors, he says, don't pay me in lump sum checks. Pay me in small, instead of $250,000, pay me in $50,000 and don't write a date on it. And so anytime they needed to, figure out their finances, here's $50,000, write the date on it.
Fuck. Wow.
And the distributors are going, I don't know, it's weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because if they're legitimately paying him $250,000, they're
happy to finance it at 0%.
Yeah, and also they're like, our accountant's gonna take the $250,000 off now.
Well, yeah, so, and you got to think like, well, he's fucking somebody somewhere down the line, but all that's leaving my account is $25,000. Whatever.
Yeah. And so by early 1986, the share price is now $75. It started at $8.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. And so if you had held this whole time, fucking rip it up.
Diamond hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fucking to the moon, baby.
Absolutely crazy.
Total autist. A smooth brain.
Institutionalized.
Fucking GameStop, baby.
Internet language for Crazy Eddie. No, dude, certified lunatic right here. Fucking all to the moon.
Dude, 5150 all the way.
Certified schizo.
Lock me up. See, 50 cc's of Thorazine, baby. I'm taking this one to the bank.
got a rubber room next to Hannibal Lecter. Fucking, absolutely fucking mental, dude.
I'm flying over there.
In 86, they have 24 stores. By the end of the year, they'd have 32. But also by the end of 86, the pendulum starts swinging.
The end of what year?
86.
86.
And
Mets.
yeah.
Were people mesmerized?
They were.
And Eddie's prices are actually starting to get beat now.
Wow.
Other stores are
Fucking Circuit City, man.
it'd be like the Wiz. It's like there's a bunch of stores that
The Wiz?
that were listed off that are also not around anymore.
I remember the Wiz.
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Oh, really? Nobody beats the Wiz.
Nobody beats the Wiz, man.
That was
Seinfeld
the
episode.
slogan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was yeah, like I think the one I remember growing up being like the big electronics thing. But also I think that it had started, and I don't know if Crazy Eddie's was one of these. I was going to ask you this. If they were one of those ones that was like the beginning of the wholesale retailer. You know what I mean?
Fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I
Best
don't,
Buy, etc. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Remember that's how they started American Gangster? They're talking about the dope, and it's Bumpy Johnson is bringing Frank Lucas in, and he walks into one of those stores and he's going, look, he goes, the middleman is out.
Yeah, I just saw a little clip of American Gangster last night.
And that's why Frank Lucas becomes the Wiz of heroin.
Ah.
Doing the wholesale game.
Oh, okay.
Was Diana Ross in that?
Who?
Diana Ross? The Wiz.
Oh, very good. Very
Fine.
good.
Nice.
You can edit it out.
Michael Jackson was.
Yeah.
So
He's crazy.
but it's just a natural force of life that the pendulum is swinging the other way, and so not only Eddie's prices are getting beat, but his competitors' commercials are vastly different from his. And so I'll show you this one.
Hello.
I'm Nutty Lloyd.
No, that's no.
No, I know. You're gonna say that you said they're different. I know.
This is
I'm thinking of a budget version of Crazy Eddie.
yeah. This is from Dick Lewis.
Low price, you hear it from everybody. But there's got to be more to audio, video, and appliances than just a low price. At Newmark and Lewis, you get the lowest price and much more. A bigger and better choice. Salespeople who listen and explain.
And don't tickle you with mice.
Cares about you.
Newmark and Lewis. Much
Whoa,
more
it's a
than
video
just
camera,
the
Dad.
price.
So this is just like a very slick, sort of more cinematic take. And this guy's walking around in a business suit and
coiffed hair.
He's presenting himself much more as a
sniffing
Wall
those
Street
girls.
guy. He's not
Yeah.
he's not slicing up coupons.
Right,
No,
right,
He's walking
right.
you through the store.
Yeah, he's not screaming. He's not.
He's like the toy store owner from Home Alone 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not beating people up on the dance floor.
yeah, and the tag is Dick Lewis is watching.
Well, that's a bit much.
Okay.
That's
No, but like it's the salespeople listen and explain,
Yeah.
right? It's instead of
watching is a tough word.
well, I think it means he's like it's fatherly,
Big brotherly.
Yeah,
Or
or maybe,
big
or
brotherly.
maybe that he's watching TV.
No, I think
No. Dick Lewis is what it's like he's making sure that they're treating you right. That's
I
what it-
guess.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's
nobody's tickling you.
Yeah.
he's like a babysitter kind of.
Yeah. He's gonna sleep with you.
We're going on an adventure.
But so the tone of that
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah, that always too loud music.
It's
Yeah,
going
well, that
into sophistication.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's now no longer the taxi driver 70s.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Wall Street.
Whenever this comes up, we
80s.
always kind of say, like, it might be the most 80s year, 86.
Yeah.
It's when, like, because
Pretty, yeah,
we always
yeah.
kind of say, like, maybe 84 is when it becomes the 80s.
Yeah, but 86 is
Yeah.
Now you're really in the thick of it.
yeah,
That's a good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big mullet time.
yeah, gray suits
Yeah.
and
Wall Street culture.
yeah,
and,
the big cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's morning in America.
Yeah. So, all right. So these guys are kind of coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to beat his prices, but he still has the name. He still has the notoriety, right?
You know, in smaller, even smaller stores can beat his prices. They have lower overhead, lower margins, and so
The thing about that too, though, is real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt again.
no.
But do people know that? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, no, what?
Know that his prices can be beat, because if there's a
Yes.
guy that's just advertising all the time saying nobody beats my prices, I will not be undersold.
Yeah.
Then you just kind of believe it, you know?
Well, I think I think there's more stores, and prices are more visible. And maybe people are because there's so many Eddie stores, it's easier for you to find one and compare prices.
Right.
And also, you know, there's a thing where it's just too big.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more overhead.
I mean, no, but too big. I think, you know, for consumers, sometimes it's everybody buys from Eddie. Who else? Does someone else have a?
Somebody's got to be struggling. Yeah.
You know, is there another the less walked path? You know, maybe the retailer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The TV with the dust on it.
Yeah.
Buy that one. No. Yep.
So he's being beaten in the market, you know, by some companies, and also, you know, like that type of commercial. There's people who they'd rather go shop somewhere where they don't feel like
They're gonna get mugged.
yeah, and the share price starts dropping. Eddie sells more stock. It drops more. Eddie sells more stock. By the end of '86, in less than half a year, it's now dropped to $13 from $75.
He's cutting prices.
Yeah.
Man.
Holy shit.
And Eddie sells 1.5 million shares. And he pockets 20.8 million, about 57 million today. And that's when the Wall Street Journal, which 1.5 million shares, and Wall Street Journal says, straight from the tax planner's manual, not the guy in charge of the company
is liquidating his ownership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go more into this tax player's manual?
Tax planner's manual.
Okay.
I assume
They're still backing it.
Yes.
Even though the price has fallen.
Yeah. They're still going like, well, that's what a smart tax guy would do. He's saving. I don't know. Maybe you pay less on taxes for the money
Yeah,
you take
some
out or
bullshit.
some shit. I
We're
don't know.
not, we're not smart enough.
Yeah, I didn't. But I just know it's a compliment, and it should not be.
All right.
Right.
The guy who's in charge of the company has no confidence in his company. Clearly,
Yes.
and
The guys that run this thing are crooked.
No, they're crazy.
And at the year-end conference where Eddie is supposed to meet with investors and, you know, be like, hey, things are great, he shows up, walks in the building, walks out, and flies home and leaves. Doesn't talk to him at all.
Puck.
Hi. Bye.
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
Well, he doesn't even see them at all. They're all in a conference room, and his like financial guy, his like IPO guy, is like, all right, Eddie, so we got to meet with these guys. What are you going to tell them? And Eddie's like, nothing. See ya. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but you know.
They should have wheeled him out like Lecter. And he can't talk for a reason.
But in his gravity boots,
He just goes.
he's upside down.
He goes, love your suit.
Smell yourself.
You remember the screaming of the fucking lambs on your uncle's farm or whatever?
Was that jizz on your face?
So then in January of 87, right after this, Eddie steps down. 2 days after he announced that December sales were down 9% from the year before. Still, the Salomon Brothers, the investment bank, tells Wall Street Journal it's a fundamentally sound company with tremendous opportunities.
They're all crooked.
And then later that year, Eddie would announce, no, I actually didn't step down. I fired my dad.
Wow.
And at this point, he had sold all his remaining stock. FBI starts snooping around. They get a tip from somebody, anonymous tip.
Yeah, his dad.
And Eddie tries to take the company private again. But at this point, a business guy, and this is my understanding, a business guy comes in and buys up enough shares to have
ownership.
Controlling stake in it. And he starts to take over, and he has a meeting with Eddie, and Eddie goes, you don't know what you're getting into.
Holy shit.
And the thing is because they all know the moment someone else takes over the company, they're going to audit the company. And they're going to see that things don't add up. And so...
Your problem now, pal.
Yeah.
But it like Eddie, it is his problem, but it's also Eddie's problem.
Have you ever been to Panama?
You like pumping? Iron, Panama, pump?
I like to pump with some of my friends.
I'd like you to call my father and say some dirty things on the phone.
And so they start looking over things. Turns out that most stockholders had lost money. Instead, Eddie had sold all of his for a total of $74 million.
Jesus Christ.
I wrote $2 million today, but that's got to be like $200 million today.
Sounds right.
When financial analysts finish their audit of the company, they discovered that inventory was short by $80 million.
Oh my God.
Just the amount of work you have to do to, like, the amount of effort you put in to make that happen, you could have put into making it like a financially stable company.
Yeah.
But why?
But then you don't get the profits for
you
yourself.
don't get the thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Debbie too?
And so eventually in 89, they shutter the final 18 stores, and it's done. But we'll go back to 87, where Eddie's out. Lawsuits are coming in. Family's falling apart. Sammy, the cousin Sammy, his dad, Sam M's brother, he tries to reconcile Eddie and Eddie's father. And the meeting does not go well.
Oh, let's hear about that.
It's, it's a family affair. This is from Weiss. There were a few preliminaries before the acrimony began. Sam M. was not in a mood for reconciliation. His attitude was demeaning, antagonistic. He was still bitter at how he had been treated by Eddie, and he would not let it go. In response to his barbs, Eddie said to Sam M., "I'm your son." Sammy recalled that his uncle replied, his uncle was very sarcastic, and he said in front of his wife, "You're the load I should never have dropped."
Oh my God. And the phone calls to you.
Eddie turns white, and then Sam M. His dad goes, "Maybe I made you with a finger."
Ew. I can't even believe that.
That's brutal.
And his wife's there the whole time? No, it was your penis.
It just looks like a finger.
I remember exactly.
The wife
Still has a yellow nail at the end.
Oh, God.
I tell you to stop biting the fucking
Stop
thing.
that. Stop smoking with it.
It's disgusting.
You're the load I should never have dropped.
And then he turned white.
Eddie,
What's that about?
Eddie turns white. Maybe I made you with a finger. His mom runs out of the room crying.
Yeah, because she's been talked about being fucking jizzed in and fingered by her husband in front of her son.
3 days later, she dies.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People fainting, heart attack, regretful loads, and then just
Load shaming.
Load shaming.
load sharking.
Yeah.
And then death
Yeah.
from
They're all too tense.
Yeah, they're all crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody's insane.
crazy.
Everybody's crazy, and it's all too tense.
Yeah.
And Dad won't get off the phone.
And the thing is,
breaking up these phone
and
bills.
like no reason for it.
No.
Like, they've been rich since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just no call for it.
Yeah.
Succession, man.
Like, though, I mean,
Succession?
It's a good succession.
Yeah, I mean, no need for the stealing, no need for any of it, no need for the fighting his dad, no need for his dad to be upset that he's not the top guy in the family anymore.
Yeah, get over it.
No need to say that to his son when there's trying to be some reconciliation.
No need to do it in front of the mom.
No need for Eddie. Like Eddie, just cheat on your wife. Don't slap her. You know, it's like just
Yeah.
it's
One or the other.
It's a blonde woman named Debbie who speaks French. I mean, like what else?
What else?
Yeah, what else do you want? Two.
Oh.
Oh,
But
good point. Good point.
well, you see it in the Sammy, the accountant and Eddie's cousin. You see it in interviews years later. Like his energy is. It's like that New York.
Wait, Sam or Ed?
Sammy.
Yeah.
His energy is
Too much.
too much.
Yeah.
Just like always. Over the next 2 years, multiple people will be in contact with federal authorities over Eddie's business practices. 89, the SEC charges Eddie with securities fraud, insider trading. They order him to repatriate $50 million he is overseas. Eddie responds to this by fleeing. Mm-hmm. They don't know where. No one knows where he is for years.
Nice.
He's gone. He can't be found. And at this time, Sammy, the cousin, he starts getting the blame for the money.
What did I do?
And he knows what he did.
All right.
And so some of the other guys who knew of the fraud and were working with him, they turn against him.
Oh,
and they
God.
start selling him out. So Sammy goes, I gotta get a lawyer. I gotta talk to the FBI because I need to tell the real story because I can't be the one that goes down for this.
Damn.
So he turns and like in 3 years he called the FBI 1,400 times.
Was he trying to call like?
No, like he had a guy. He had a guy he was working with, but it's like, dude, you need to relax. That's a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
1,400 in 3 years?
Yeah.
That's multiple times a day.
Yeah.
It would have to be, Aaron.
Imagine how many times he was calling 100 gate.
Well, that was to calm down.
That's number 2 on speed dial.
Yeah.
Imagine he's like, imagine they were just like, hey, what are you doing?
What, the FBI or the gay guys?
Sammy,
Either one.
Did you have something you needed to report? No.
He gives the whole spiel to the wrong number.
The 100 gay guys.
What are you doing?
Sounds hot.
Oh.
Sorry. I thought I called the feds.
What are you wearing?
We're a different kind of G-man.
What are you wearing? Pinstripes?
A wire.
Nothing but.
Yeah, I know.
I also have a tape recorder between my butt cheeks.
And so, yeah, you see him years later in interviews and just relentless energy. Just too much.
It's yeah, man. It's how it goes there, dude. It's like, it's weird, you know. Everybody gets it. Everybody starts getting it. Everybody's very flight or fight, like all the time, and it's just
The mind is not, aside from a certain percentage of the population, your mind is not dealt to deal with that kind of pressure and paranoia and secrecy and power and
just
variables.
being in New York at that time.
Yeah, you have to be on coke to keep up with it.
Yeah,
or crack now, I guess. At this point in the 80s.
Yeah, baseball.
So
Mets.
So for years, no one knows where Eddie is. In October 1991, the United Overseas Bank in Geneva receives a solemn declaration from a man named David Jacob Levi Cohen. Mr. Cohen claims that his account is frozen because a bank employee mistakenly gave 2 people power of attorney over his account. He had made a deal with a guy. He had sold him some gems. The guy had deposited money to this account, and the employee had mistakenly given 2 people power of attorney over the account, and David Jacob Levi Cohen couldn't access it. Nothing comes of this. This guy even shows up in Switzerland to the offices to get his money. Nothing comes of it. But because it's a fraud case, the United Overseas Bank of Geneva, they send a file. Mm-hmm. They make a file of it and send it to the SEC. And there's this one guy, I think he's like about to go on vacation or something, and he's just flipping through the file. And he goes, this guy, David Jacob Levi Cohen, that birth date, that's familiar. And he puts it in, and it's Eddie Antar's birth date.
Why would he use the same fucking birthday?
And then he looks at the passport picture of this guy. It's a Brazilian passport.
Fucking Jason Bourne.
It's Eddie Antar with a pair of glasses on.
Nice. Oh, was it like the Groucho, like with the funny, the Humpty Dance, the Digital Underground glasses?
Yeah.
I once put some money in a Burger King bathroom.
Ain't it 69? My nose will tickle your ear. My Humpty
That's
nose.
Cohen, pronounced with an Owen.
And
in the picture, he's still cutting up money or whatever.
And so they look up David Jacob Levi Cohen, and he lives in Israel. And it turns out that he had moved to Israel some years before, and he still lives in the first place he bought there.
Now?
No, I mean at the time.
Oh.
Got it.
So like, you know, and they go, oh, that's Eddie Antar. Never moved. Never. If he moved once, could still be out there.
He got in good. It's a nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice beachfront.
Israel has the if you're a Jewish citizen, you can move there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right to return.
Yeah.
And
also, he's probably moving a lot of money in there, and there's no rush to extradite,
Right.
Somebody that's,
Well, so here's the thing. The Israeli government they don't want people who take advantage of that. Or at least at the time. I don't know if they still do, but at the time they didn't want, I think it was a left-leaning government was recently brought in, elected at that time.
Uh-huh.
And they don't want people taking advantage of the right to return system, especially fake name.
Right.
And the U.S. is this guy is fucking fraudster. And so the Israeli police, they help, they work with the U.S. and they track him down. And so one day, Eddie, or Jacob Levi Cohen, David, he's leaving the house, and this is the story, is that there's a good-looking woman in a tight skirt with, she's having car trouble.
Oh, was she blonde named Debbie?
Yeah. So he stops to help her out, and it turns out she's undercover cop and arrested.
She fucking does Krav Maga on him.
Yeah.
She goes, bonjour, homie.
So then he's in Israeli jail, and it's this whole tumultuous thing. He does the thing where he
Cries in bed for 3 days.
Yeah. He doesn't eat. He grows his beard out. He looks like shit. They're killing him in there.
Yeah.
They're killing him. You got to release him.
Yeah, he goes to court with a walker. He does the Weinstein.
Yes,
routine.
exactly. It's exactly that shit. But eventually, he cuts a deal with the U.S. government where they go they're like, hey, one of his daughters has cancer, and they're like,
Good God.
they're like, well, do you want to see your fucking daughter or what? You got to come to the U.S. to see
Which
her.
one?
And so he's
my father once told me about a certain load that he regretted dropping, and I don't.
So he's eventually extradited back to America. There's multiple court cases, during one of which the prosecuting attorney is Michael Chertoff, who would later be the co-author of the Patriot Act, among other terrible ideas. He coins the phrase of Eddie. He says he calls him the Darth Vader of capitalism. Just like,
I think that's capitalism.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, the empire.
Well, it was
Yeah,
popular at the time.
Yeah, good. Greed is good.
Where can I learn these accounting procedures? Not from a Jedi.
We'll have to teach you some Barnum and Bailey bullshit in the books.
So Eddie is eventually pleads guilty to federal fraud charges in May 1996. February 97, he's sentenced to 7.5, 8 years in prison, ordered to pay more than $150 million in fines.
Fuck.
In addition to more than $1 billion in judgments against him, resulting from various civil suits.
$1 billion?
From the stakeholders, people defrauded, stockholders. September 10th, 2016, he dies at the age of 68. But first there's like a 60 Minutes type fucking news thing about him where it's him and Sammy sit down for an interview and it's just Sammy yelling at him the whole time.
Find the clip.
Yeah, we gotta see.
Oh, you want to see it? Okay.
You've got it?
Oh,
Yeah.
hell
Of
yes.
course I have it.
You holding out on us?
So how long after this does Eddie die?
I mean, maybe like
3 days.
3 days, yeah.
Then he rises.
Hey, Eddie, you're full of shit. You're a real bastard, Eddie. A real motherfucker.
Well, see, so Sam,
And somebody is on the phone for you.
Sammy Antar has a YouTube channel, and it has as many crazy Eddie commercials as he could get. It also has this this video from CNBC of him and Eddie.
This is when he yells at him?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't.
This is exciting.
I love a good
very exciting.
dress down.
Well, you're going to a specific part, too. I'm enjoying this.
Scrubbing.
So that's it. Yeah, here we go.
I apologize. Please do not interrupt me. I apologize. Please do not interrupt me.
I will not interrupt you. Go ahead, Eddie. After 20 years, I owe you that.
Redemption is about forgiveness. And forgiveness means that you have to be able to forgive yourself.
That I cannot do.
If you cannot forgive yourself, I ask you not to interrupt. If you continue to interrupt,
face to face in the same room. The meeting was about reconciliation. The conversation started with redemption.
I think I've thought about it for the last couple of days. I think redemption is a noble cause.
It's not important to me in the great scheme of things. It means nothing.
Please do not interrupt me.
I apologize.
Please do not interrupt me.
I will not interrupt you. Go ahead, Eddie. After 20 years, I owe you that.
Redemption is about forgiveness. And forgiveness means that you have to be...
He brought us up to be crooks, Eddie. Everything I became came from you, Eddie. Okay? Now, I don't blame myself, but everything I became, I learned from you. So don't play that game with me. Don't try to control the topic of conversation. You're not big shit anymore, Eddie. Okay? You're a two-bit thug, just like I am. So stop playing games.
We'll have more of this torture.
We'll have more of this tortured family reunion. I mean, these two Jews are really going at it.
Yeah, it does. Sammy, the interview is like, so do you sleep at night? And he goes, no, I can't. I'm going to burn in hell for a few years before they send me upstairs because of what I did. And he's like, do you forgive yourself? No!
I can't forgive myself.
And so like Eddie's going like, look, I forgave him years ago. And Sammy.
Wait. Eddie's saying he forgave who?
He forgives Sammy for sending him to prison.
Oh, gotcha.
And Eddie's like, I'm sorry. I forgave him years ago for sending me to prison. Sammy goes, I don't forgive you. I don't forgive myself.
Yikes.
So Sammy testified. He offered to testify in exchange for immunity. Pleads guilty to 3 felonies. Voids jail time. 3 years probation, 1,200 hours of community service, $10,000 in fines, and then he becomes the advisor for government agencies and businesses on investigating white collar fraud. He has a website called whitecollarfraud.com.
No way.
Yeah, and Gary Weiss says in his book, he was like, the guy who did Overstock.com. There was an article, I think Gary Weiss, who was financial investigative journalist, he wrote a blog post about the guy from Overstock being such a shithead, and someone commented this fucking rant. This guy's blah blah blah. He's this and this. It was Sammy Antar, and that's where he starts talking to him, gets all of the Eddie Antar stuff for the book.
Wow.
From a comment.
Yeah.
Wow.
On his blog.
Wow.
Fuck.
And
read a blog, guys.
So Eddie started working for the government.
No, Sammy did.
Sammy did.
No,
Okay.
Eddie came back. He served his prison time. Passed away.
Never paid back the $1 billion, I guess.
Probably not.
Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
Yeah. He's got a garage full of old microwaves if you want.
Yeah.
Any.
Discmans.
Probably still work. Discman.
Mini disc players.
Yeah.
Betamaxes.
All types of ill shit.
Yeah, Laserdisc.
But that's the story of Crazy Eddie. Eddie is dead, but his style of advertising forever lives on.
Yes.
And shout out to Ontario, Canada. You know this one.
Hello! I'm Russell Oliver, and I buy your used jewelry. If you have gold rings, gold earrings, I'll give you cash. If you have diamonds, bring them to me. I'll give you cash. I love gold. Bring me your old gold, and I'll give you cash.
I'm the cash man. I'll give you money for your gold.
Oh my God. All these girls are dancing behind this old guy singing auto-tune. Oh, he's got the playing cards?
Yeah, the obnoxious
I think
commercial.
might be Canadian currency.
I'm sorry.
Is this? This is also like there was this guy in when I was in Southwest Florida, and he was a guy, one of these guys. He was like, but he was from like New York, but he was down here and he was selling like Chrysler SUVs, whatever. And he kept going. It was very Apprentice Trump time, and he kept going. It's gonna be huge. And he was always talking to some hot girl named Caroline, and these were inescapable.
Yeah.
And the same thing. That was that thing. I was like, he's talking like this, and he's going, you gotta get down here. We're doing this, and we got balloons, and like you're going like, okay. But yeah, it was that Carnival Bark style, and
every region has one. Milwaukee had Crazy Lenny. Gives you a bike with every purchase.
Oh.
No money.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah, I can get the bike. In California, Cal Worthington, he would have ads with Cal and his dog Spot, and he'd be walking with a monkey.
Huh.
And Cal
his
Worthington
dog?
Ford.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's crazy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cal Worthington's huge.
Yeah. So every region gets their own crazy guy now.
Yeah.
And
it's democratic capitalism at work, guys.
yeah. But the Eddie's advertisements were,
also the amount of them.
Jerry Connell did something like 7,500 ads for Crazy Eddie's over the years.
7,500 different.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta see what they were parodying.
Well, the thing is, the book doesn't talk about whether they were still doing that later. But that was how they initially got in.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. And then most of them were the ones I showed you where he's just standing and he's going in front of the speakers and stuff and just yelling and throwing car stereos, ACs, home security systems, everything electronic. They were making ads of.
It was, but it also was, yeah, it's like that thing you're saying, like, cause that, like with that guy in Florida with it's huge, that whole thing. It's both. It's the subliminal because you're saying it's huge. Guy talking about his cock.
And it's also ostentatious.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody was just going like, well, everybody knows that guy. Love it or hate it. Everybody knows that guy. And then there would be other like smaller commercials that would make fun of that guy.
Yeah,
exactly. That's how much like momentum it got out of it. And they would have a little kid doing like the spiel, but it'd be about for like a pizza place.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was just a cultural thing. You know?
Yeah. There was one competitor for Eddie's that they said our prices are so low it made him crazy. And so Eddie, the company sent that guy a box of champagne because they're like, well, yeah, it's pretty good, but we know we're in your head too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Champagne was actually pissed.
Yeah, they
filled it with piss. Wrote it off.
It's the same move as that thing of Jordan telling that guy he was a hoe and then giving him a signed pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he respected you. It's like, I don't know if he respected me.
He just wants you to see these and remember when he beat you.
Like, remember when I told you you were a hoe and you said I ain't no hoe?
Here's
and I
my
said, no,
shoes.
you are a hoe.
Yeah.
And then I gave you a pair of my shoes.
Yeah, and I signed them so you can't wear them.
You have to sell them later.
Yeah.
Put your kid through college.
Yeah, you're gonna make more money from these shoes than your whole career.
And then and then tell people about the time you met me.
Tell them what I told you.
Get into particulars. How I told you were a hoe 2 times.
And if you say shit, I'm gonna take it personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Great.
It really is good.
Yeah, the ads are good, and then
but that's also before that thing I talk about of before they had. I think it was 87 like minor crash in the market.
Yeah.
And they realized that, which fueled the whole strategy of the 90s. They were like, all the companies that survived that mini crash the best were the ones that advertised most. And it was like Nike and Blockbuster and like all that shit. So then everybody saw that model or whatever and then everybody flooded advertising during the 90s. But this guy was already doing it back then. And
Get inside people's head.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even one moment where one of the ad guys was like, "Hey Eddie, we could save like $1 million if we didn't do ad sales on Mondays." And Eddie goes, "Get the fuck out of here! You're fired. I don't ever want to hear that shit again.
Yeah.
Never come back."
Yep.
And one of the other guys goes, "Hey, just come back tomorrow and say you're sorry. Say you're sorry." And the guy comes back the next day and he goes, "Eddie, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that." And he goes, "I just wanted to save you money." He goes, "I don't care about saving money.
I'm stealing it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
He's like,
I gotta spend it somehow.
Save money, you're fired.
Fuck.
Give me your shoes.
Save money.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, it's in the air vents. Yeah.
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was a hoot.
Yeah, I thought you might enjoy that.
What a miserable family, though.
Serious.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like
boy.
There's not an inspiration. Like, I like doing the inspirational stories. There's not an inspirational story.
No.
Fucking anyone in that.
Nope.
No, but it is real fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
A guy telling his son
The load I never should have dropped.
He goes, that time I came, and your mother over here.
Your beautiful mother.
It was a bad batch. It was a bad batch.
Maybe it was from my finger.
I might
some
even-
other guy cum.
Could have been from my finger.
Maybe it was some other cum that I had on my finger.
Yeah.
And then your wife dies 3 days later.
See what you did to your mother?
See what you did? You
killed your mother.
First you came out of her, and then you killed her.
Oh,
Sick.
God. That's so fucking brutal.
Just absolutely brutal, right? And in the middle of an attempted reconciliation to just...
So when did Sam die?
Sam's still alive.
No. Sam dad.
Oh,
When
I think he died of COVID in like 2020.
Oh, so he outlived Eddie by a ton.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe, I think, I know one of the family did. I can't remember which one.
Oh my God.
But
just think about that thing he said to
I think
his
he
wife
did. I think he did outlive Eddie, but yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He probably laughed about it every night. That thing I said.
Remember that thing about the bad load? Man.
He's trying to say it to his wife, but he always forgets that she's not there, yeah.
It's a real stinker.
Yeah.
It's a real stinker.
Yeah.
Man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was excellent, dude.
Thank you.
That was excellent. And I wouldn't remember it, but everybody does know the name.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I tell people like out here, they don't know the name. But if I was drinking at bars with the book and people were asking me what it was about in New York, people would remember it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "What are you reading for?"
And yeah, it did become a template so much.
Yeah.
You know? And then even,
Well, even the Simpsons parody where Mr. Plow, where Homer says, "My prices are so low, doctors think I have brain damage."
Yeah.
Does anyone smell toast?
Like stroked out Charlie. Fucking,
Exactly.
Slow Jim.
Slow Jim. You're stealing from him. And he doesn't know.
Slow Jim.
Come on in, steal from me. I won't know.
I'm a fucking idiot, dude.
That was excellent, man.
That was great.
Thank you.
Love it.
You guys enjoy that?
I love
fun with that one.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's so great with the commercials, too.
Yeah.
And just...
What a just a wonderful time capsule of Americana.
Yeah, especially with like the financial firms being like, "They're great. They're fucking no
God.
problems."
Yeah, was there any kind of fucking thing after that where like those writers have to be like, "Hey, remember that shit we said?"
No,
they all work for fucking MSNBC.
Yeah, fucking Jim Cramer on CNBC going bye.
Yeah.
Hitting the buttons. No, they're all fucking idiots, and they all think they're smarter than they're too smart to get hoodwinked.
God. Yeah, you don't.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck them.
Forget about them.
Forget about it, man.
All right, fellas, let's wrap it up. I'm going to say goodnight. I love you. My name is John Fahey.
I'm Aaron Pita.
Matt Brousseau.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.